well set up for a good contest here to conclude day one of the European Cricket Championship. It is Andrew Ryan here for sure. We'll have plenty of good action in this final game tonight. So it is that man, Sinan Khan, who's going to take the new ball. Steams in, good length ball. Just pushed away from Webster, who scampers through for the quick single. And a reasonable chance for a run out. Massive floodlights we have here, is that's nicely struck. And it's struck through the gap, very well placed. Full ball outside off stump, and Knights has timed that to perfection. Knights moves across to possibly the slowest ball that we've seen today. And even if he didn't pick the off-speed one, as he keeping the run rate under control, that ball was asking to be hit though. Overcorrected, drifted onto leg stump, and Webster, he's still feeling it from his century earlier today. Nice shot, just stepped back in his crease, helped the ball behind square. Nice timing, going right into the Cardamom night sky. Full ball, that's too easy for a batter of his talent. Oh, that's gone high into the night sky. Fielder dropping back from point, takes a really, really good catch. Never easy going in, particularly in the dark sky. And that's really, really well taken, and a good bit of bowling.
Playing catch up against Greece tomorrow. Hate to be the only team on 0. Oh, this is going nowhere.
Oh, he's taken a good catch.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a funny one, wasn't it? I mean, Aslam didn't seem to pick it up straight away. Burrows' big swing, but didn't really leave the immediate area. 30 for 2. Anyway, here's Ollie.
Goes wide of off stump. That's what he was doing in the first over. Clearly, Ollie Webster's clocked that, stepped wide of off stump, swings it over the boundary. Lovely shot.
They face last ball, the 4th.
Floated up. Glorious cricket shot. That is well played. Unfortunately for Ahmed, first ball that he's actually dropped right into the slot. Christian out there on facing now. Actually, this is Kassir who's come on. Bowled his left arm orthodox in his first ball.
Last ball, the 5th.
Kassir drops it on middle stump, and that's high. Very handsome from... Well, it's the slower ball, and it's absolutely dispatched. Lovely strike from Christian Webster. Good for this Isle of Man team to show that they've got more than Ollie Webster in the batting lineup. So a few concerns after that last game that may not have sufficient depth. Well, Khan's economy rate's going through the roof. There's pop-up ball, fielder coming in from out at cover, and he's made an absolute meal of that under light.
I like him a lot. And he might get a wicket right here as it's hanging up in the air, and it's gone. So you like Galanis, I like Galanis, Greece like Galanis, and it's not the Greece Lightning, but it's the spin of Georgios that gets the breakthrough, and Ollie Webster out for the first time today. It's 80 for 3.
I'm still trying to recover from your Guess Who comment, Maximo. That's a great shout, but Galanis has landed his first 2 balls very nicely. This one just kicks off the deck on a good lane. Oh, it's good first shot, but he's headed straight to the fielder who is sitting on the 45 on the leg side. He's dropped it. There's going to be a run out. Oh, that's tragic stuff. Christian Webster, he's been batting so well. And after an ordinary bit of fielding with the dropped catch, that is a great bit of work. I think that might be Ali Muaz coming in there with the throw, and the keeper's taken the bails off. And once again, another run out off the Galanis bowling. Only let in 4 runs. That's induced a little reverse, and he's actually got good contact. Hartman will take it down to the boundary, but Kassir will probably see that as a win. Brings him down the track. Aslam Mohammed takes this one cleanly, and Burrows is on his way. Lovely piece of bowling from the leg spinner, Galanis. Fantastic stuff, and Vinny, you would have liked that keeping.
Yeah, of course I do. So quick, not really giving the batters a chance to settle.
Oh, glorious leg spin bowling from Galanis. That one just a bit of air, but it was full of Brown has played all around it, and he is continuing a sensational game. Young leg spinner, he's now got 3 wickets for 2 runs. See if Langford can take a 4 for later in the tournament as Galanis drifts that one, probably just a touch full, and it's been nicely struck down the ground for 4 and a much needed boundary for the Isle of Man.
I've been on fire predicting today. 3 to come here.
He's tried to scoop that around. I'm not sure that was the plan, but he's got enough bat to take it almost directly over the keeper's head. Much needed boundary.
Hey, I like it. He commits to the stroke, doesn't he? Not sure if he passed. Here's the last ball.
Oh, what a strike. Langford, well, he said he was imitating Andrew Ryan. I'm not sure it's the case after he's just launched that baby over the mid-wicket boundary. That's a sensational finish to this innings. The big left-hander walks off with his shoulders held tightly after being fairly happy with his work to finish that innings. And unfortunately, that last over from the Greeks has just released the pressure somewhat. So they've reached 107 for 6.
Match 5 in Group A, Isle of Man taking on Greece. Isle of Man scoring 107 off their 10 overs. Greece coming out to chase 108. So Greece, with the bat in hand, chasing their first points of the tournament. Joe Burrows to get us going. And the first ball is cracked, and it's caught. Well, it's mishit. And that's the skipper, Ollie Webster, that's taken the catch. Now, they're having a look at this one. And so, yeah, I mean, the batter stood his ground here. I've got to admit, it was dying on Webster, but he looks cool as you like. Andrew Ryan joins me, one of the more honest men on the planet. Tell me what you saw here. We'll get a look at it. It's an interesting one, isn't it?
It is tight. I can see it certainly. I can see why Webster would have been completely unaware if that did actually touch the turf, but I think it's definitely worth. We'll get. I think he probably got that.
I mean, looks like it. Let's even really slow it down when it first goes in. I mean, thing is, he's not really watching by the time it hits his hands. To me, it probably more likely than not seems like a clean catch.
Don't they? Ring of 5.
Yeah.
Short ball from Burrows. That's ordinary bowling. His pace, you can't do that in Kassir. That's good timing for a man facing his first ball.
Well, the
Maximo.
Ring of 5 giving me some Johnny Cash vibes, the Ring of 5, but there's a bit of fire on this off the bat of Amarpreet Singh Mamie. And you're right, it wasn't a very good ball from Burrows. He knows it. Thanks to Frederick Constant, our official timekeeper.
That's a decent length ball from Burrows, but he's actually placed it nicely and it's going to race away to the boundary. Pretty awkward looking effort in the field. Oh, it could have been injured
divots
there
as well in 20 over cricket.
Oh, swung away, but it is dispatched. That's a sensational shot from Kassir. Just no respect for the pace of court whatsoever.
This is the kind of length that, in these conditions, batters hold their shape. You can hit well, especially the power play. It's disappearing. And this is kind of my point. It's that
entertaining innings so far from Stephen Kassir as that one from court. A little bit unlucky. He's drawn a false shot, but as is the way in T10 cricket, sometimes the outside edge is one of the most profitable in the game, and that has been squeezed. Slightly short of a length. That's gone off the top edge, but he's managed to carry the boundary down behind square, and that is the second maximum of Kassir's innings.
Yeah, well, you don't want to get too close to him. And it's not really on leg stump, but it's kind of on the stumps, gives him a length to work with. It uses the pace, and I guess a bit of pace on it, because it did.
Yeah, you can see why he's going leg side, particularly in this power play. That one's gone high. It's going to land inside the ground. Fielder coming in for deep cover takes a really well-judged catch, and in the context of this game, that is a big, big wicket. Well bowled from Langford.
Yeah, it's George Burrows out there. Takes in front of the fan zone. That was hanging up for a long time. Again, he had a bit of an identity crisis, didn't he? Kind of wanted to go leg side where there were more gaps, and that's actually good captaincy as well, I think, to earlier on today. Fraser Clark, although the first one, I think it's a half a catching opportunity. I think he gets there on the full. And that's JJ Griffin down there. But Amarpreet.
Better length ball straight through him. What a wonderful comeback from Clark. You called it, Vinny. Bowled very well in that first game, and after dropping a half tracker for his first delivery, comes back and cleans up Singh Mamie.
So he's an interesting bowler to face because he's not really tossing many out, and you can predict, okay, he's going to push this through. But what makes him is that he's getting a lot of sideways movement. So it's, you know, you face him like a spinner, and he comes up.
Well, that one's flashed and flashed healthily. It's going to be a much-needed boundary. Fortunately, Clark spoiled his over with one wide one and one short one that have both been punished, and Bogdanos doesn't need a second invitation.
There's still some experience in the shed. Aslam Mohammed, the captain, hasn't batted yet. I'd imagine he'd come in next. Last ball for Langford.
Well, he's tried to increase the pace. It's gone high. The cap's been thrown off by the fielder. He's taken a really good catch, swinging around from deep mid-wicket boundary, and Langford gets a reward to finish off his spell. Yeah,
well, ditched the cap. Obviously felt like it was superfluous to requirements, but a good catch under lights as well. I like what Isle of Man are doing here, and yeah, they haven't been perfect, but that's disappointing, I think, for Sinan. It just cannot get going, ends up going for 2 off 6, and that will be the end of the over. The score is 44 for 4. As we see JJ Griffin getting a bowl here in the 7th, starts with a full toss, but it's mistimed, and this should be out. It is out, so JJ comes up with the goods. Probably not the best bowl in his career, but he'll love the result. Catch held by Kieran Court there in the circle, and that's indicative of how Greece are going at the moment, as the captain goes for just 2. And it's now 48 for 5.
Yeah, disappointing dismissals for him. He's probably the man who is most likely to be able to kick them back up above that run rate. JJ Griffin, the young man, steaming in, wide of off stump, full toss. Probably should have been dispatched, but as it was, just into the safe hands of Kieran Court, and he gets a wicket off his first ball.
Yeah, right off the toe.
Might be moving to CrossFit Games rather than cricket sooner rather than later, as one's whacked off the back foot. And it's actually a pretty good shot from Galanis. He's timed it well.
Yeah, good shot. Grizzly Bear Sports made a bit of a presentation.
Well, that one's managed to find the gap, and Galanis has got back-to-back boundaries.
It's almost...
Oh, well, the run rate of Galanis isn't going anywhere. That's a pretty good ball from Court. Previous ball drifted onto the pads. This one was essentially you miss all hit. And that might be the final nail in the coffin for the Greeks. Galanis played a pretty good knock. Couple of boundaries, but the left-arm paceman Court, he's continued to be impressive with the ball, and the Greeks 6 wickets down now.
Look, I'm no scientician, but bowlers that have bowled fuller have had better outcomes, and yeah, Galanis, you can't really blame him. He has to do something.
The leg spin of Clark, and Burrows coming in for the last over, and that's been nicely struck. So Ahmed's pulled out a Maximo from nowhere.
Now it's just a well-oiled machine.
Well, Burrows gets slapped to the leg side. They found the boundary. It's a nice shot from Bogdanos. One of the few times he's unleashed.
I think they've had a good day. His last ball of opening night.
Steams down the track, hits it nicely, but it will be taken in a relatively inelegant fashion by Ollie Webster down there, and they will scoot through for a second. A little bit of a messy finish, and they have Burrows in an awkward position, so he's down on the ground, so not a great finish to the game.